Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my Robinhood portfolio. What I thought I would do today is talk about defense stocks. As you guys know, the administration is really focusing on defense. There is talk about potentially raising the defense budget by 50 billion or so, which if you think about it is an astronomical number given that the defense industry in the United States is also probably more than the top 3 or 4 countries in the world combined. So I think there's going to be a lot of winners throughout the defense and aerospace industry. Obviously, a lot has to be worked out with regards to legislation. Nothing is necessarily signed yet or put in paper, but I think with this administration really focusing on defense and the House and Senate also being Republican controlled, I think there's going to be a real likelihood that the defense sector is going to be bolstered in a quite dramatic way. So having said all that, what's a good way to get into these stocks? Well, I think buying into an ETF is great because you don't necessarily have to pick winners from the defense and aerospace industry. You can simply buy an ETF and get exposure to a number of different companies within the sector at large. So having said all that, let's jump in. I have 3 ETFs here I'd like to talk about. And each of these ETFs I think is a very, very good play over the next few years. 2 of these are actually trading at a discount right now. So not only are they good stocks moving forward, but they're also trading at a discount. So the first one here is ITA. This is an iShares ETF. If we go to the bottom there, you can see it's Dow Jones U.S. Aerospace and Defense ETF tracking a market cap weighted index of U.S. Companies that are involved in the airplane and defense equipment. You can see it's got an okay dividend yield there at 1.369. PE ratio is quite large, 29.9. Market cap is okay at 2.55 billion. And if we take a look at the performance over the last month and 3 months, you can see this has been a very, very good stock, up 6% and 5% respectively. Over the last year, 35%, which is awesome. And 5 years, this has performed very well, outpacing the underlying S&P 500 average as well. You can see it kind of went stagnant here for some time, but really since the election has taken off, or beginning of this year, it's taken off and has really performed well. So I think I might put a few dollars into this stock. I have some high dividend stocks that I might start transferring over to more of a defense kind of oriented picture or ETF platform. The second stock here, and actually going back to ITA here, so a lot of the underlying companies are like Boeing, Lockheed Martin. I own both of those companies. General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, also airplane manufacturer with General Dynamics and Boeing. And then a lot of support companies as well, like Rockwell Collins, also a very good stock on its own. But within the ETF, I think it's a great play. The second ETF I have here is an SPDR, S&P Aerospace and Defense ETF. In much the same way, it's tracking kind of a market, if you can see under my logo there, equal weighted index of U.S. aerospace and defense companies, defined by GICS. I'm not sure what that means necessarily, but it essentially has a portfolio of a lot of the same companies that first ETF did. It's got an okay dividend yield, much larger than the last one, 2.035. PE ratio is a lot higher than that last ETF. Not exactly sure why it's so high there. Market cap is a little bit less, so this is probably a little bit more volatile stock than that last ETF. Over the last week, 1 month, 3 months, it's performed okay. 1 year, it's performed very well. And 5 years, it's also outpaced the S&P 500. Really, the trend looks almost identical because a lot of the companies are essentially the same between these 2 different ETFs. So I'm not really sure what's accounting for that differential in the PE ratio. And the last one here, and this one actually is trading at a premium, about a $4 premium over what the underlying securities are worth. And PPA here, this is another defense ETF, aerospace ETF. This is trading at a discount as well. If we go to the bottom, again, these are all tracking more or less the same index, market cap weighted index of U.S. listed stocks involved in defense, military, homeland security, and space industries. It's got the highest dividend yield of all 3 of these stocks, 2.328. PE ratio is in line with ITA there, 24.81. Again, this is a smaller ETF. If we go back to ITA here, you can see that was 2.55 billion. And these both here are trading in the 540 and $530 million market cap range. So a lot smaller. And you can see the volume there, 79,000, 63,000, and 101,000, as you can imagine, with a larger market cap there. And the underlying securities for this particular company, much the same as ITA, Boeing, General Dynamics, Honeywell are some of the top stocks there. Lockheed Martin, and some of the other support companies that may not be as well known. But 3 great stocks here. I'm going to jump into probably ITA here. I like this stock. I've been following this actually for a while. I was going to jump into this at the end of last year, but I had a lot of capital tied up in a swing trade with Ford that I was not able to get out of, unfortunately. And since that time, this has really ticked up quite nicely here. You can see over the last 3 months, up 5%, last month, up 6%. Over the last week, kind of up and down, but I think these are great stocks moving forward, especially with the budgets that will be coming out a little bit later this year. As I said, I prognosticate there's going to be a lot of funding diverted to defense. If that happens, these stocks will all be in the green. So 3 cool stocks here. I'm going to jump into probably IT at some point over the next month or so. But XAR and PPA are also 2 great defense and aerospace ETFs to get into. So let me know if you guys are shifting maybe some of your portfolio over to aerospace and defense stocks. Why not if you are not doing that? But I think it's going to be a good play over the next year or so. Over the last year, it's been a very, very good play. So let me know what you guys are doing. And yeah, kind of with that, I'll end the video. As always, if you enjoy my videos, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Trying to build the channel, trying to learn a little bit about investing. I hope you guys have been learning as well. If there's any big questions you guys have, let me know. Any good video ideas? I know a few of you have already mentioned quite a few. So I have a spreadsheet that has probably about 15 or 20 different ideas that I am still going to go over and put a video out about. So appreciate that. And yeah, kind of with that, I'll end the video, and we'll see you guys later.